When it comes to weddings, this year is an exciting one. The royal wedding of Prince Harry and American actress Meghan Markle will inspire many bridal trends for the year and brides-to-be for their weddings. But as trends change, one thing that doesn't, Bridezillas. So as we get into the peak of wedding season, the WE TV series Bridezilla is back, and Laura Halperin, executive producer and voice of Bridezilla, joins us now. Not to be confused with a Bridezilla, right? I've got to make that change there. How are you?
Not yet, anyway. I'm good. How are you?
I like that you say not yet, and especially maybe you say that because there are some positives to being a Bridezilla. So before we get going and talking about some studies that you found, let's talk about why it's not necessarily a bad thing to be a Bridezilla.
I know. Hard to believe, but true. You know, women are feeling a lot more empowered in taking ownership of their big day. Because look, you're spending more money than you ever spent in your life on one day. And you've been dreaming about this day lots of times since you were like 5 years old or maybe even earlier. So why shouldn't you get what you want? And sometimes you have to crack the whip in order to get people to fall in line. Like, asking nicely doesn't always do the trick.
I like that. So again, we start with the positive. Laura, we're here in Tampa Bay, and in Florida seems to be a lot of jokes are always about Florida. And I know you've just done a survey to find out where the most Bridezillas come from. Again, one would think Florida would probably be on the list somewhere, especially Tampa. What have you found out?
Well, yes, Tampa came in at number 5 and had the highest percentage overall of brides who were called a Bridezilla, and we're the number 1 in controlling brides across the nation. So yeah, Tampa's definitely well represented.
Number 1 in controlling brides. Again, we started with the positive, so maybe that's a good thing. We're just going to go with that. But as far as the brides and the weddings do roll out, what are we seeing this season, Bridezilla or not?
Bridezilla or not, we're going to see a lot of inspiration coming from the royal wedding. I think we're going to see a lot of emulation of Meghan's amazing look on her big day with the boat neck dress and her more natural makeup and hair. You know, I think that we were all glued to our TVs when that wedding came out, and I think we're going to see a lot of women trying to bring that to their big day.
And if someone is on the brink of becoming a Bridezilla and getting ready to plan that big wedding, any tips you have for those people who are planning, or maybe the wedding party even, to combat some Bridezillas?
Smile and nod. Do a lot of smiling and nodding. You no longer have an opinion. You no longer get a say. You will get the tan, the shade of tan that she wants you to get. You will wear the ugly dress. You will show up when you're asked to show up, and it'll all be over. And then you can all breathe and drink.
I like that. And the smile and nod. While we are smiling and nodding here, I do want to ask for tips for the bride. I mean, since we are, after all, the number 1 city for controlling brides, any tips to help battle that, to make sure the bride does enjoy her big day?
Well, look, you know, as a control freak, I totally get it, and we all want to make sure that our day is exactly as we imagined it. The problem is that it's probably not going to be. So accepting some lack of control is a pretty good step in the right direction, and just taking a really, really, really deep breath when you feel like you're about to lose it, or maybe like 10 deep breaths.
10 deep breaths. I like that. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, you can catch Bridezilla once again on the WE TV network. Again, the new series kicks off in June. Thank you again for your time.